exciting. It's not very often I get excited about this kind of tech stuff, but actually that's not true. I always get excited about the tech stuff. But this one has particularly got my interest because this is the Chigee AIO-5, I always do this, the Chigee AIO-5 Play, but more specifically for the BMW Navigator mount. And this is hopefully the answer to most of my prayers around having the CarPlay operation on the bike without any of the faff. And even better, this one works with the wheel controller, and this is how you haven't got to fiddle about with it, particularly with gloves. There are no gloves that work well with any of these CarPlay adapters that I've found so far, unless you're just basically using your fingers, or they are so paper thin you may as well not bother with gloves. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this comes out like and what it looks like. So I haven't opened it yet, so have a little looky. It is pretty much as I expected. The Chigee stuff's pretty good. It feels quite robust in your hand. Looks good, nice little carbon fibre backing on there, but look at that, that's so slim. That's so much better than the other CarPlay stuff that have the boxes on the back which allow you to fit to the mount. This one just clips straight in. Nice little screen protector on it which says home key, switch key, lock key and power. I'll work out what the hell that means when I actually start playing with it. Good boy, don't like those. Right, what else we got? What else we got in the box? Don't normally do unboxing. Not sure if there's anything much more to have in the box. There's not a lot more I'm going to need. Oh, how lovely. I've got a key fob which is actually probably bigger than the mount itself. You know, if you're into those kind of things, that's fine. What else we got in here? Well, if you're into your branding, and a couple of nice little stickers, and they appear to be reflective. That'll go on my fridge because everybody needs a reflective fridge. And what have we got here? Screwdriver. Screwdriver means I can take things apart. So what do I need to take apart on this thing that might warrant? It's the same as the AIO-5 Lite with the cameras that I've had before. So that looks like, I'm guessing there's going to be a USB socket in there, and I'm guessing there's going to be a SD card slot. Yeah, as much as I thought. That's pretty good actually. Screws stay in that, make it waterproof. SD card and USB-C. Let me get this updated, I'll get it on the bike and we'll get it plugged in and we'll have a play. Chigee sent me this to test with no stipulations, and for a change this is one I'm actually quite excited about due to its integration with the CanBus system and the wheel controller on the BMW motorbike. Chigee have built a pretty good reputation in a very short time, and their AIO-5 Lite is a good all-singing, all-dancing device with a couple of dash cams built in, TPMS support, tyre pressure monitoring system support and CarPlay. This one is a Kickstarter launch, but they've already delivered a ton of products and it's real. I've got one on my bike. They'll also be directly available in the UK and have UK distributors such as a Bike Thing, which is a good source of getting this kind of stuff if you don't want to do the Kickstarter thing. What this device gives is simplicity. It goes straight onto the factory GPS mount and works natively with the BMW jog wheel on the handlebar, no installation required. Frankly, on first use I love it, but I will be giving it a longer term test, and we've got a couple of days on the road next week to give it a proper workout. So the hardware, it's good decent specification. It's got 60 frames per second mirroring on the CarPlay. It's a 5-inch screen. It's got 1000 nits brightness, which in English terms is bright. It's a 720p IPS panel. It's got an ARM V8 dual-core processor on it, which doesn't mean a huge amount to me, but they advertise it as being twice the power of anything else on the market. I can't argue with that, but I don't know the specs. It's got IP68 waterproofing, and that's certified as well, and it's got an ambient light sensor, which is very useful if you're dipping into tunnels, going from night to day. In use, displays responsive to the touch with the gloves on dry, and you get to test it in the wet. None of these tend to work brilliantly when it's in the wet, but having compared it to other CarPlay devices I've had on my bike, like the Autocast and the Carpuride, it is much better with the gloves. The installation is simple, as I've already mentioned. Same method as for the BMW sat-nav. Then you just power on the bike within range of your Wi-Fi, or use your phone hotspot the first time you use it, and that will get the device activated. It also allows you to update the software, which is the first thing I would recommend doing, particularly as it's a new device with very quickly developing software. Just go to the settings, under update, and then follow the instructions. Very simple. There are three main displays on the Play. The first one is the default screen, which takes the data from the GPS receiver on the device and uses it to display speed. So you may see this disagreeing slightly with the speed shown on the bike itself, which is based on wheel rotation. Tyre pressures, which you can select to be from the bike sensors, or you can actually get Chigee third-party sensors to put on them if you don't have them installed. And GPS coordinates, which are also used to measure the trip distance, and it gives you a nice little display at the end of every trip of how far you've gone. It's a useful screen, it's pretty, but it's basic. The dashboard takes it to the next level. This is used to display data which is being pulled from the CanBus on the bike, and put this into a couple of different formats you can choose, focusing on the gear or the revs being the main data. There's a ton of data here, and it's pretty impressive how Chigee have programmed the software and accessed this data and display it. It gives you options as to what you use the main TFT for, so effectively you have a much wider choice of LCD stuff you want to on the bike. The third one's the one most of us came for, which is the Android Auto and CarPlay interface. I've got an iPhone, so CarPlay it is. It's wireless, easy to set up, doesn't need reconnecting every time, pretty quick to connect, it's normally within 15 to 30 seconds. The screen in use, it's responsive, it's bright, it's easy. However, there is a CarPlay pièce de résistance, and that's the jog wheel on the BMW bike. The tip is to activate vertical scrolling in the Chigee via the settings, and then this uses the rotating wheel on the BMW jog controller to move between the buttons on the CarPlay. You just click it right to select, and then you click left to go back, and then as an added bonus, if you press the indicator cancel button, it calls up Siri, which is awesome and super simple. There's nothing like just hitting Siri, saying navigate home, bang, you're done. In general use, plays easy, it works as it should, it fits well, it's robust, it's bright enough in daylight, and feels like a quality piece of kit. I haven't given it a full workout yet, it's only had maybe 20 miles on the bike, but I am in Wales for a couple of days with Dave next week, so it's going to be used for the whole thing. I've got a multi-point trip planned on that via my route app. I'll be running the whole thing through it, and fingers crossed it stands up to that test, and I'll come back and report. But first look is good.